Imagine the next video being, I made a blind bag out of sand. He can do it. Challenge
time.
Fine, I'll do it. Okay, so first order of business, we're going to get our sand. Yeah, I decided to go with kinetic sand because, well, one, I think kinetic sand will be a little bit easier to work with since it's practically made for kids. But let's open this up. This is my first time playing with kinetic sand, so... Oh. Where's the sand? I'm pretty sure these are just molds for the sand. Yeah, probably not gonna need these. That's where the sand was. Let's see how it feels. Yep, definitely feels like sand to me. Oh, okay. I think these are just little impressions for the sand. But, I'm not sure if I like how this feels. It's kind of satisfying, but at the same time, it's kind of greasy. I don't know. Comment down below if you guys ever played with kinetic sand, and if you have, let me know if it's fun or not. I kind of have mixed feelings right now. But with the sand that we have, we're going to make this into a blind bag. I'm not going to go the easy route and just like bury something inside and call it a blind bag. That's boring. That's just, who wants to see that? I'm actually going to make a blind bag, you know, like how it usually is if I made a blind bag with paper. Actually, let me just put this down for a second. Okay, so the thing I'm gonna use to achieve that paper effect is the glue bottle. You know why? Because have you ever tried pouring school glue on your hands and then kind of rub it together? Once it dries, you can like peel it off from your hands. That may or may not work with sand if I mix it together with the glue. I'm hoping that it'll form this thin sand layer that I could use to make a blind bag with. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I brought two sheet protectors here. This is probably what I'm gonna use to let the glue dry on. I'm gonna try two methods here. I'm gonna see if mixing the sand and the glue together and then putting it on to dry is better, or if I put the glue on first and then added the sand on top would achieve the best results. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just gonna use one of these.
Because I don't know how things are gonna work out.
I'm gonna try the glue first and then sand on top. So pour the school glue on top of the sheet protector. I'm just gonna spread the school glue out into a rectangular shape. Okay, I think that's rectangular enough, if you can tell. Now with this glue layer, I'm going to grab some sand and just kind of sprinkle it on top. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab a pile of sand here, attempt to sprinkle this on. It's kind of stringy if you pull it like this. There's like little fibers. Ooh, this is
Kinda messy.
already. I think the sand layer is pretty thick, so I don't know if the glue is gonna really bind to the top of this sand layer, so I think I'm gonna sprinkle some glue on top of this just in case. This is actually so annoying. I'm gonna flatten the sand layer as much as I can, and now I'm just gonna pour some extra glue on top. Wait, actually, no, hold on. Let me fill in the empty spots first. Okay, now that I have a bunch of sand
Doo-doos.
on the bottom here, I'm gonna add some extra glue on top just in case. I'm gonna try to be generous here. I hope the kinetic sand doesn't react with the glue and a weird slop mixture. I think that would be the worst case scenario here. Okay, we're just gonna add more glue. I'm really trying hard to make this work. Okay, let me just grab some of these sand doo-doos and put that back in the... This is a really gross feeling, by the way. But yeah, that's the first method. And the next method, I think I'm just going to... If I can move this. For this side, I'm gonna mix the glue and the sand together and then pour it on. I think that'll be a lot easier, but let me wash my hands first. Okay, so I'm back with a jar and a mixing utensil. So first things first, I'm probably gonna add in the glue. So let me just pour that in real quick. I need to make sure to add
A lot of glue.
and I don't know how much sand I'm gonna put in here, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, see what kind of mixture looks best. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little sand at a time. I'm gonna try to mix it. Oh, this definitely feels like a science project. You know what this looks like? It looks like those dietary fiber supplements. Honestly, I think that amount of sand is enough. Because I think with the first method, it looks kind of thick. I really only need a thin sand layer. I think this is good enough, and I'm just gonna pour it onto this area. I really hope that this thing can dry overnight, because if it doesn't, well... that sucks, because I only have today and tomorrow to record. Okay, I think I got enough of the mixture on top, and I'm just gonna spread it now. I'm mixing some of the sand doo-doos that I dropped earlier. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then just shake it, I guess. Let me try to pour the rest of this. One side's looking a little bit thin. Okay, I think this is a
Little bit small.
I'm gonna make a little bit more of the mixture. Glue, grab some extra sand, and then just mix that. Okay, now I'm just gonna pour this onto the empty areas. Attempt to flatten it. Okay, you know what?
Whatever.
Just move this aside. Please don't drop it. Okay, so these are the two methods that we're going to test out. I'm gonna let this sit overnight and hopefully it'll dry. And then I'll catch you tomorrow in the morning and we'll see how these will turn out. It's actually been
2 days.
since this has been sitting here drying. I think it's time for us to peel this glue sand layers and see which one will be useful for today's project. So I brought this Pokemon card to help me peel off the glue layer just in case things go wrong. And wait, actually,
This guy's too cute.
hold on, let me switch Pokemon cards. Okay, so I switched Pokemon cards and they have a duplicate of this, so I don't care if this gets dirty or not. I don't collect Pokemon cards, by the way. This is years ago. As you can tell, this thing has slightly been peeling, so I'm having good feelings about this side, but I don't know about this side. This side looks rather damp. Okay, so let's start off with the left side. Maybe you could just grab the Pokemon card and just slide it underneath. I hope I put enough glue for this. Or maybe I put in too much sand, I don't know. Okay, some of the glue is kind of coming off at the end, but you know what? I think I have most of it. Okay, I think I peeled off pretty much the entire layer for this left side. Let me grab some scissors to, I guess, cut this off because, okay, so I have my scissors here and then we're just gonna cut down the middle. Okay, so there we go.
I can't believe this is real. This
This is like leather, but sand version. I'm actually pretty satisfied with this, so I don't think I'm going to need
This.
Let's just move this aside. So here's our sandpaper. You know what I just realized? I could have just used sandpaper. I mean, it has the word sand in it. You know what? At least I'm being truly faithful to the challenge. But anyways, we're gonna try to decorate this. And I don't know if this is gonna work, but I do have two white pens that I'm going to use to make the blind bag cover. Yeah, I don't know if this ink will stick onto the sand, but well, we're gonna see for ourselves, okay? I'm gonna fold this in half. We have something resembling a bag. This side looks more sand-like. This is the side where the glue has dried on. This side will be easier to draw on because the dried glue kind of formed a
Smooth surface.
and I think that'll be easier to draw on. I have to dust my hands every time I touch this thing. So this is gonna be the front of our blind bag cover. Let's take our Sharpie white marker first. Let's write sand blind bag on the top. Whoa. Yeah, the texture of the letters kind of look like chalk. Here, take a close look at that. That's actually pretty cool. So let me write the rest of the letters. And then on the bottom, I'm just gonna write blind bag. Okay, this is a little bit difficult. Maybe I should switch to my finer pen. Hopefully this will make it easier to write finer letters. I'm glad that I chose to draw on the glue side. It definitely made things a lot easier. Because I'm noticing that the areas with not a lot of glue is kind of hard to write on. So that's our sand blind bag. And then on the bottom here, I think I'm just gonna draw a simple sand castle. Oh no, my marker is already clumping up with sand. Here, let me just take a little bit of that off. This project is definitely gonna damage my coloring supplies. I don't want to do any more to this because I kind of don't want to ruin my markers too much, but this is our front cover. But on the back side, I think I'm going to write, you know, the typical rarities. So let's get onto that right now. So on top, I'm going to write key, 4 circles on the left margin. And then for the rarities, I'm gonna go with common, uncommon, epic, and legendary. Maybe I should have put tape on top, you know, just so that it's easier for me to draw. But I mean, sand is not really supposed to be meant for drawing on, so I'm just gonna draw different patterns for each. I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna fill in the last circle. Let me attempt to write my signature. Can you read that? Can you tell it says Meepyblues? I can't either, don't worry. Now the next hurdle that we're gonna have to deal with is how are we gonna seal this together? I'm gonna try my hand at tape. I think that's the most gentle option we have. Okay, so I prepped some pieces of tape and we're gonna try to close most of these sides off. What do I do? You know what? Let's deal with the closing for later. Let's try to make the item first, yeah? Now for the item, I've been thinking about that slime blind bag I made a couple videos ago, and I still have a bunch of leftover slime that I made off camera, and I have this orangish slime. It's supposed to be an orange juice slime, but I never really did anything with it. But here's our orange slime. The real reason why I chose this slime was because one, it's kind of sticky, and two, I think the color will match with the sand decently. Bring out my kinetic sand kit. Why did that take me 5 minutes to open? Also, I don't know why they decide to have the sand storage in the middle. I don't know, I guess I'm just not used to it. I think I'm gonna include one of these charms inside the slime. I think I'm gonna choose this one because it has this weird animal on it. It might be a bear? But what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna grab a mini scoopful, and then we're just gonna mix in the slime. Now I hope this doesn't deactivate the slime or anything. On second thought, I don't think the colors are meshing well together. It's not the most attractive slime I've seen. So this is what we have so far. It's very grainy. I kind of want to add more, so I'm just gonna grab some more sand real quick. Okay, I got a little bit more sand. We're gonna mix. This is actually pretty cool. This is definitely a texture that I haven't felt before. So yeah, here's our sand slime. You should honestly try it for yourself. If I can't stop playing with this is actually so fun. Okay, let me not get sidetracked but to store this slime, I'm going to grab an Easter egg. I know this is not made out of sand, but I can't imagine putting sand to cover an item that's also made out of sand. So we're just gonna stick with a plastic egg, okay? Please be easy on me. Obviously, this egg is not gonna fit all of this slime. So we're just gonna rip off a little bit, push that inside, and then let's put in our charm. We can close this off. So there is our sand slime. I'm actually gonna keep most of this for later. Maybe I could use this in another video. Screw the cap. And this will go into my slime storage. Looking at this and looking at the condition of our sand blind bag, instead of making a you got paper, I think I'm gonna write what rarity this thing is onto the egg itself. And then I'm just gonna cover this egg on top of this sand layer. But first, we gotta choose a rarity. I'm just gonna grab my white pen or fill in a circle. Okay, so yep, there's our slime, I guess. Last order of business, we're just gonna open this up, lay this down, just close it off. Yay, there's our sand blind bag. If you could call it a blind bag. This is sort of a fail because, you know, it's not really a bag and I can't really move it in any other position other than keep it this way. I'm afraid this layer is gonna just rip apart. But for now, it's unboxing time. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Meepyblues out.